There is something unusual happening around you lately. Even the people who act like they do not see it have started noticing it the most. Not because you asked for attention, not because you tried to prove anything, but because time feels different around you now. Your energy has changed so deeply that people feel it before they understand it. Stop here for a second and really take this in, because this message is not finding you by accident. Some seasons of life change us in loud ways. Everyone can see them. Everyone can talk about them. But there are other seasons, rare ones, where the change happens in silence, under normal days, while no one claps for you, while no one knows what you are carrying inside, and somehow without fully seeing it yourself, you stepped into that kind of season. People are trying to understand how your face can look soft and wise at the same time, how your eyes can look deeply experienced and still full of light, how your smile can feel calm one moment and unforgettable the next. They cannot explain why your presence affects them this way. And honestly, that mystery has become part of your power. Lately, when you walk into a room, the energy shifts, conversations slow down, people look at you a little longer than they meant to. Some suddenly become more aware of themselves. Others go quiet and do not know why. And here is the truth most people will never say out loud. You no longer fit the old version they once created in their mind. You changed, not in a loud way, not in a dramatic show, not by trying to impress anyone. Your change happened in private, in disappointment, in lonely nights, in moments where you fought hard just to stay soft inside. Somewhere in that hidden battle, something in you grew up quietly, and now your energy carries proof that you survived. That is why some people become emotional after the smallest conversation with you now. They expected something normal. Instead, they felt calm. They felt depth. They felt honesty. And in a world where so many people are tired from pretending, your realness feels almost shocking. Stay with this, because something important is unfolding around your life. There is someone who looked at you recently and felt something they could not explain. At first, maybe they noticed your appearance. That part is true. But after a few seconds, they realized the real thing affecting them was your energy, the way your spirit felt grounded, the way your calm felt natural instead of forced, the way your eyes carried both kindness and understanding at once. That stayed with them. And this is what many people still do not understand about your glow right now. They think it comes from an easy life. It does not. Your glow comes from recovery, from healing, from choosing softness after hurt instead of becoming bitter, from staying open after life gave you every reason to close your heart. That changes a person more than age ever can. It changes the way you speak, the way you watch people before trusting them, the way you answer with calm instead of reacting from pain. It even changes the silence around you. And even people who know nothing about emotion or healing still feel that difference without needing words for it. That is why your age surprises people. Your spirit moves differently from what they expect. One moment you seem playful, warm, light, hopeful. The next moment you seem deeply wise. That contrast stays with people. One person felt this more strongly than anyone else. They watched you in a simple moment, maybe while you were talking casually, maybe while you were distracted and not even trying, but something about your energy hit them so deeply that they replayed the moment later. Not obsession, recognition. Because for the first time in a long time, they felt calm around someone instead of drained. You are entering a season where your presence says more than your appearance ever could. People are beginning to remember how you make them feel, not only how you look. That is rare, very rare, very rare. Many people spend years trying to seem impressive, yet leave no emotional mark behind. But you, simply by becoming more honest with yourself, have started leaving emotional echoes in people long after the moment ends. That is why some people come back after distance. That is why certain strangers talk to you warmly so fast. That is why some eyes stay on you longer than before. They are responding to your change even when they cannot explain it. And the people most shocked by this are often the ones who once underestimated you. Someone saw you again after a long time and could barely process the difference inside. They expected the older version of you, the unsure version, the one still looking outside for proof of worth. Instead, they saw someone softer, calmer, stronger, someone who no longer seems hungry to prove anything. That shook them, because suddenly they understood something they were not ready to face. Time did not weaken your light. It refined it. Let that sink in. There are also quiet conversations happening about you that you know nothing about, honest ones. Moments where people admit how unforgettable your energy feels now. Not because you became louder, but because you became more peaceful. And peace is rare now, very rare. Many people know how to get attention for a few minutes. Very few know how to create emotional safety just by being present. Yet that is exactly what your energy has started doing. Someone recently caught themselves smiling while thinking about you when they were not even trying to. Your memory appeared on its own, and suddenly they realized your presence had become tied to a feeling they deeply missed in life. Hope, not only attraction, not only curiosity, hope, and that feeling scared them a little, because real emotional connection feels unfamiliar to many people now. But no matter how hard they tried to move on from it, they kept returning to the peace your energy created in them. And the truth is, this is only the beginning. Something even deeper is moving quietly around your life. Your change is no longer invisible. People feel it before you speak. Soon, someone will show just how deeply your presence has been affecting them all this time. There is another layer to all of this, and even you are still discovering it little by little. Strangely, some people around you sense it before you fully do. Your energy has started speaking before your words. People feel you before the conversation begins. Some of them are affected by that more deeply than they will ever admit. There is someone who tried to ignore this feeling at first. They told themselves it would pass, just another quick impression, just another person they would forget. But something kept happening. No matter how busy they got, your face and your energy kept returning to their mind, while working, while driving, while lying awake at night. Your presence kept entering their thoughts quietly, and what unsettled them most was not only the way you look, it was the feeling attached to you. You felt familiar in a way they could not explain, like someone their soul recognized before their mind caught up. There are also people quietly watching how life seems to move around you now. Opportunities appear in odd ways. Conversations feel deeper. Even strangers speak to you with unusual warmth, almost like your spirit carries something safe that they trust without knowing why. You may think these moments are small. They are not. They are signs of the healing inside you. For a long time, you underestimated what your healing would do to the world around you. You thought surviving quietly meant no one would ever notice your growth. But growth always shows itself, not through perfection, through presence. And your presence has become impossible for certain people to ignore. Someone recently looked at an older version of you, maybe in memory, maybe in a photo, maybe through an old message, and they felt real shock, not because you became someone else, because you finally became more of yourself. There is a softness in you now that no longer comes from uncertainty. It comes from understanding pain, understanding people, understanding your own value more deeply than before. And that emotional understanding changed the way people experience you. Some people now feel safe around you right away. Some feel nervous around you. Some become unexpectedly emotional, because honesty affects people more deeply than beauty ever will. And lately your spirit carries honesty everywhere it goes. You have entered a chapter where people can no longer define you by old versions of yourself. The labels they once used no longer fit. The ideas they had about your future no longer make sense. And this quiet change has confused certain people who thought they understood you years ago. One person especially did not expect it. They thought they knew your limits. They thought they knew how much your confidence could grow, how peaceful your energy could become, how unforgettable your presence could feel. But recently they saw something in you that changed their whole view. Peace. Real peace. Not fake positivity. Not performance. Not energy that begs to be seen. Just calm. And that touched them more deeply than they expected, because peace has become so rare. Many people know how to pull attention toward themselves. Very few know how to create calm, just by standing near someone. Yet that is slowly becoming one of your hidden gifts. Your energy no longer chases people. It draws them in, naturally. And the people who feel that are becoming more emotionally pulled toward you than ever before. Here is the part almost no one says out loud. Some are shocked because they expected life to harden you. Instead, life refined you. That changes everything. You still carry kindness after disappointment. You still carry hope after delay. You still carry softness in moments where many people would have become cold. Without even trying to make a point, you became proof that pain does not always destroy gentle people. Sometimes it deepens them. Keep listening, because this part matters. There is a moment coming soon when someone will reveal how long they have truly been noticing you. The conversation may sound simple at first, casual, almost forgettable, but hidden inside their words will be a truth they have carried in silence for much longer than you know. And when you hear it, something inside you will stop for a moment, because suddenly you will understand why certain people have been acting differently around you, why some eyes stay longer, why some conversations feel charged, why some people return after long silence. Your change is no longer hidden. People feel it now, especially one person who keeps replaying small moments involving you again and again. To everyone else, those moments looked ordinary. A glance, a sentence, a smile, a few seconds. But for them it felt powerful. They cannot fully explain why your presence touched them so deeply, so they keep replaying it in private, trying to understand what changed inside them. What changed was simple. Your energy woke something up in them. Reflection. Not everyone enjoys that feeling. Some feel inspired by it. Others feel emotional. Because when someone carries true peace after hard seasons, it reminds others of what they have been avoiding inside themselves. That is why your presence feels intense to some people lately. Even when you are doing nothing special, you stopped trying so hard to be noticed. And somehow that made you unforgettable. Pause there. Really feel the weight of that. The version of you that once worried non-stop about being enough is slowly fading. In its place, something steadier is rising, something grounded. You may still have moments of doubt, yes, but your spirit no longer leans on outside approval the way it once did. People can feel that freedom right away. One person noticed it before anyone else. They watched the way you moved through a conversation without trying to impress anyone. They saw the softness in your face, the calm in your reactions, the quiet confidence inside your silence. And suddenly they realized something that stayed with them long after the moment ended. You became magnetic without becoming loud. If that truth is hitting you right now, stay with me. Because the next part may explain more than you expected. Something shifted in you so quietly that almost no one saw the exact moment it happened. Yet ever since then, people have been responding to you differently. Not only because of how you look, not only because of how you carry yourself, but because of how people feel after being around you. That feeling stays with them, and that is where the mystery really begins. There is someone who keeps replaying one small moment with you in their mind. To everyone else it would have looked ordinary. A glance, a sentence, a smile that lasted only seconds. But for them it felt emotionally powerful in a way they still cannot explain. Ever since then, they have carried your energy with them. They do not fully understand why your presence reached them so deeply. So they keep returning to that memory in private, trying to make sense of what changed in them that day. But the truth is simple. Your energy now causes emotional reflection in people. Not everyone is comfortable with that. Some feel inspired by it, others feel exposed. Because when someone carries real peace after surviving difficult seasons, it reminds other people of everything they have been pushing down inside themselves. That is why your presence feels unusually strong to certain people now. Even when you are doing nothing dramatic, you stopped forcing yourself to be seen, and somehow that made you impossible to forget. The version of you that once lived in constant fear of not being enough is slowly disappearing. In its place, something calmer is arriving, something emotionally secure in ways your past self once only hoped for. You may still have uncertain moments sometimes, but your spirit no longer depends fully on outside validation to feel worthy. People feel that freedom immediately. One person especially noticed it early. They watched how you moved through a conversation without trying to win anyone over. They noticed the softness in your expression, the calm in your reactions, the confidence hiding inside your silence, and suddenly they understood something that deeply unsettled them. You became magnetic without needing noise. Many people think attraction starts and ends with appearance. It does not. Appearance may catch attention. Energy creates emotional memory, and lately your energy has been leaving marks in people in ways you still do not fully see. Someone recently compared you to many others they had met, and the comparison disturbed them, because no matter how hard they tried, they could not recreate the emotional feeling your presence gave them. There was something calm about you, something safe, something unforced. That is one reason your age surprises people so much. You carry lightness and emotional depth at the same time. You can seem playful one moment and deeply wise the next. You can comfort someone while also making them question their whole emotional life. And most of it happens naturally. No strategy, no performance. There is a reason this season feels so different from your past. You are no longer shrinking yourself to fit into places that cannot value your spirit. Somewhere along the way, you stopped apologizing for your softness. You stopped making yourself smaller just to make emotionally unavailable people comfortable. That quiet choice changed your whole energy. People are noticing more than you think. Even people who never speak to you directly are quietly observing the difference. One person in particular has been acting unaffected around you, but in private they are overwhelmed by how often you stay in their thoughts. They keep asking themselves how one person can feel calming and exciting at the same time. They try to explain your effect logically, and fail every time because your impact is no longer surface level, it goes deeper now. There are moments coming soon when people will begin to show admiration for you more openly than before. Not fake praise, not shallow compliments, real recognition, honest words, unexpected confessions. Small moments that reveal how deeply people have been watching your growth from a distance. And strangely, some of the people most shocked by your transformation are the same people who once overlooked you completely. They remember the older version of you, the unsure version, the quieter version, the one still searching for outside reassurance. But now when they look at you, they see someone different, someone awake, someone calm, someone who no longer needs validation to feel valuable, and that is impossible to ignore. Your beauty was never only physical. That is what people are finally starting to understand. Your real glow comes from the way your spirit stayed open after everything it survived. It comes from the kindness you kept when becoming cold would have been easier. It comes from every hidden moment where you chose healing instead of bitterness. That kind of beauty changes the atmosphere around a person. That kind of beauty stays in people's minds. That is why somewhere tonight, someone may be lying awake thinking about you, wondering how one person can look so youthful on the outside while carrying so much calm, depth, and warmth inside the same soul. There is also a reason your story feels unfinished right now. A reason some moments feel emotionally charged, even when nothing dramatic is happening on the surface. Life has been preparing something around you quietly, and the people closest to your energy are beginning to feel it before you do. That is why reactions around you have become more emotional lately, more unexpected, harder to explain. Someone recently heard your name during a simple conversation, and their whole expression changed for a second. They tried to stay casual, normal, unmoved, but inside, something shifted the moment your name was spoken, because your presence has slowly become connected to a feeling they cannot recreate anywhere else. And no matter how much they distract themselves, your energy keeps returning during the quietest moments of their day. The strange part is that this connection was not built through constant attention. It was built through emotional impact. A few moments with you created echoes that lasted much longer than expected. The way you listen, the way you pause before speaking, the way your eyes naturally carry feeling without trying to perform. These may seem like small details to you, but to certain people they became unforgettable. There is another truth moving quietly under all of this. Your presence no longer only catches attention, it creates emotional memory, and emotional memory is stronger than temporary attraction. People may forget faces over time, but they rarely forget how someone made their soul feel. Someone recently found themselves smiling while thinking about you when they were busy with completely normal things. They were not trying to think of you. In fact, they had spent the whole day filling their mind with work, noise, routine, yet somehow your energy came back again, quietly, naturally, almost like their heart had attached itself to a feeling without asking permission. And what unsettled them most was realizing your presence made them feel something they had not felt in a very long time. Hope. Not only excitement, not only curiosity, hope, the kind that softens a tired spirit. And that kind of feeling is hard to ignore once it appears. There are people who spent years around loud personalities, temporary attention, shallow affection, and emotionally draining connections. They became so used to inconsistency that peace started to feel unfamiliar. Then they met you, and suddenly something inside them went quiet in the best way. Your energy did not make them feel pressured, it made them feel safe. That realization changed more in them than they are ready to admit. Someone keeps replaying ordinary details about you in their mind. The way your expression changes when you listen closely. The way your eyes soften when you speak about something that matters. The way your warmth does not beg for attention. Those moments stayed with them longer than they expected. And now they are starting to understand why. Your spirit carries sincerity, and that is becoming rare. Most people learned how to impress others quickly. Very few learned how to comfort another human being through honesty and presence alone. Yet your energy has started doing that naturally. There is a conversation coming soon that will quietly confirm what your intuition has already been sensing. It may begin in a simple way. Soft, casual, almost meaningless on the surface. But hidden inside that moment will be truth. Someone is going to reveal more than they planned to reveal around you because your energy makes people emotionally honest without them meaning to. That is one of your hidden gifts. You create emotional openness in people now. And some are deeply affected by that, because they have spent years hiding behind emotional masks. Around you, holding those masks becomes tiring. There is one person especially, who has been trying very hard to act normal around you, while feeling something very different inside. Every time they think they have regained emotional control, your energy returns again. They hear your name, they remember a small interaction, they see someone who reminds them of you. And instantly, their feelings move again. Not because they are obsessed, because your presence reached them more deeply than they expected. Lately they even catch themselves imagining quiet moments with you without trying to. Sitting beside you after a long day, laughing over simple things, feeling safe enough to stop pretending. Those thoughts frighten them a little, because real connection always comes with vulnerability, and vulnerability asks people to be honest. Your transformation has now reached a point where even people who once misunderstood you are being forced to question their old ideas. They expected your softness to disappear after hard seasons. They expected pain to harden your heart. They expected your light to fade over time. But something else happened. You became calmer, more balanced, more rooted in yourself, and somehow your kindness survived. That affects people deeply, whether they admit it or not, because many secretly fear that pain will destroy the best parts of them. Then they meet someone like you, someone who proves the opposite can happen, someone who became wiser without becoming cold, someone who became stronger without losing tenderness, someone who carries depth and softness together. That combination leaves a mark. One person especially cannot stop thinking about how different your energy feels from everyone else around them lately. They compare interactions in private. They compare emotional feelings in private. And every comparison leads to the same truth. Your presence feels real, not acted, not forced, real. And the more they see that, the harder it becomes for them to fully pull away from you. There is also something changing inside you now. You are no longer trying to make everyone understand your worth. That chapter is ending. And strangely, the moment you stopped chasing complete understanding from others, your energy became even more magnetic. Because true confidence is not loud. It is peaceful. It is the ability to stay connected to yourself even when not everyone understands your path. People feel that emotional steadiness the moment they come near you. That is why strangers sometimes trust you quickly. That is why some people become vulnerable around you without planning to. That is why certain individuals keep returning mentally to memories of you long after the moment ended. Your spirit creates impact now without trying. And there is a reason this is happening in this chapter of your life. You are entering a season where the right people will naturally recognize the value that the wrong people completely missed. Read that slowly in your mind. The right people will see with ease what the wrong people overlooked. That realization will heal parts of your heart more deeply than you expect. Very soon someone is going to say something simple to you, but that simple sentence will quietly confirm how unforgettable your energy has become to them.